Welcome to our channel. If this story of shocking discovery and transformation moves you, please hit the like button and drop a comment with your thoughts. In a gritty auto shop, a CEO disguises himself as a rookie helper, uncovering dangerous tools, systemic neglect, and discrimination. What he witnesses sparks a revolution, exposing a manager's greed and a company's forgotten values. This tale of courage and redemption reveals how one woman's resilience and a leader's awakening can reshape an empire. Michael Carter, 45, CEO of Carter Tech Automotive, slips into one of his 8 garages in Detroit as Jake, a new assistant. He sees Lisa Johnson, a black mechanic, drop a broken screwdriver, blood dripping from a gash between her fingers. Oil and grime stain the floor. She stifles a cry, glancing nervously at the manager's office. "You okay, lady?" Michael asks, playing naive. Lisa, 38, wraps her hand in a filthy rag, snapping, "I'm fine. No first aid kit here. She's got 2 kids and rent to pay." Michael's stomach churns. 3 days ago, he was hired to do grunt work, unrecognizable to his staff. He inherited the business from his father 6 years prior, turning a small chain into a mid-sized empire. "You need a hospital," he urges Lisa. "Need stitches?" She laughs bitterly. "Sure, and lose my job." She nods at an engine. "Help me lift this while Paul's on the phone." Michael notices the tools, a duct-tape torque wrench, an exposed drill, torn gloves, a leaking hydraulic jack. "Why work with this junk?" he asks. Lisa smirks. "Welcome to reality. Paul says new tools aren't in the budget." Meanwhile, he drives a shiny new Cadillac. From his glass office, Paul Stevens, 52, the regional manager, glares at them. Strutting over, his gut strains his designer shirt. "Lisa, that Ford Mustang was due an hour ago," he barks, ignoring her bloody hand. "And you, newbie, move those boxes to storage, or your first week's your last." Michael sees Lisa flinch at Paul's voice, bracing for impact. He notes Paul speaks directly to other mechanics, all white men, but yells at Lisa. Stacking boxes in the dim storage room, Michael finds a worn folder on a rusty shelf. Accident reports, dozens of them. Lisa's name appears repeatedly alongside others she's never met. Deep cuts, bruises, a crushed finger, chemical burns, all blamed on worker error or negligence. A memo from Paul to corporate catches his eye, detailing how he cut costs by delaying equipment maintenance and replacements. At the bottom, approved by Carter Tech's finance department. Michael's blood runs cold. His own team greenlit this. The savings his executives praised were stained with his workers' blood. Back in the shop, Lisa struggles with a bolt, using the wrong-sized wrench. Her hands tremble from pain or exhaustion. "Gonna just stand there?" she snaps. "Why stay here?" Michael asks softly. Her glare could cut steel. 6 other shops said no to someone like me. 3 asked if I was cleaning, not fixing cars. Here, they at least admit I can do the job. That night, alone in his car on the empty lot, Michael stares at the garage. A faded Carter Tech sign hangs crookedly. His father, an immigrant mechanic who faced similar prejudice, built this company on integrity and excellence. Now, it's a hazard where people like Lisa risk their lives daily. No one in that shop could imagine Michael was more than a profit-driven CEO. As the shop's lights dim, a plan forms, one to fix not just this garage, but the culture of neglect and bias he'd let fester. The next morning, Michael arrives before dawn, still in a worn cap to avoid recognition. From the lot, he sees Lisa limp to the entrance, her hand still wrapped in that rag. "She's bleeding for a company that doesn't know her," he mutters, gripping the wheel. His phone buzzes. A text from Emily Chen, Carter-Tech's legal director. "Paperwork's ready. Confidential. Need anything else? Be here at 2 p.m. Bring the financial auditor. No one else," he replies. Emily, daughter of immigrants his father once helped, is loyal to the company's original values. The day starts with Paul addressing the small crew. Michael blends in, still undercover. "Listen up," Paul snaps. "Corporate wants better numbers this quarter. No overtime, no new parts unless critical. No complaints." His eyes lock on Lisa. "Especially you. I've wasted enough time on your requests." Lisa holds his gaze. "My requests are for basic, legally required equipment," she says calmly. Paul scoffs. "Law? You think anyone cares about your complaints?" He hesitates, swallowing a slur, a shift mechanic whining about conditions. "Please!" Over the next hours, Michael works with Lisa, awed by her skill. She diagnoses issues in seconds, her injured hands moving with precision. "Where'd you learn this?" he asks as she fixes a fuel injector with a wire and a broken multimeter. "My dad had a small shop till it went under," she says, eyes on her work. "I grew up under cars, learning every part. Big chains crushed us with predatory pricing." "Which chain?" "Auto Care Express," she says bitterly, "before Carter-Tech bought it." The revelation hits Michael like a punch. 5 years ago, his first move as CEO was acquiring Auto Care Express, a can't-miss deal, his finance team said. He never considered the small shops, like Lisa's family, caught in the crossfire. At 2 p.m., a black sedan pulls up. Emily steps out with Sophia Kowalski, the lead auditor known for sniffing out fraud. They meet in a diner across the street away from Paul's eyes. "We found everything," Emily says. "Paul didn't just neglect safety. He embezzled equipment funds. Digital signatures were forged." "How'd this slip through?" Michael asks. "Fake documents," Sophia replies. "Regular audits wouldn't catch it, but forensic ones do. And the accident reports? Understated by a factor of 10. As they talk, Michael gets an anonymous video. Paul telling another manager, "I hired a black woman to shut HR up about diversity. She can even fix cars. Imagine that. But one safety complaint, she's gone. Carter never shows up." "Got everything we need?" Michael asks, voice tight with fury. "And more," Emily confirms. "What's your move?" Back at the garage, chaos erupts. A luxury SUV owned by the mayor needs urgent repairs. Paul, suddenly attentive, demands perfection. "Lisa, handle it personally," he orders. "No screw-ups. This car's worth more than your life." Michael spots the hydraulic jack holding the vehicle. It's cracked and leaking. Paul enters with the mayor. "See how we treat VIPs," Paul boasts. "We invest in top equipment and staff." "Impressive," the mayor says. "I've always heard great things about Carter-Tech. Integrity and excellence, right?" "Absolutely," Paul grins. "Our CEO Michael Carter's prioritized those values from day one." Then the jack screeches. Lisa leaps back. Paul storms toward her. "What are you doing?" he hisses. "Embarrassing us?" The jack collapses, the SUV crashing down. The mayor pales. "My God, someone could have died." Paul scrambles. Freak accident, probably human error or sabotage. Not human error, Lisa snaps, finally breaking. I've warned about this equipment for months. I have emails, forms, all documented. You're fired. Effective immediately, Paul yells. Michael's lips curl into a faint smile. After a night of reviewing documents, making calls, and planning, his moment has arrived. Vanessa and Sophia's tablets hold proof. Secret recordings, the anonymous video, forged reports. As Paul threatens Lisa, clients discreetly film. Unbeknownst to him, Michael, Emily, and Sophia's phones record everything. For a man who built his career belittling those he deemed beneath him, Paul's about to learn some broken tools are dangerous in skilled hands. No one's fired today, Michael says, stepping forward. Except you, Paul. Paul blinks, confused. Who do you think you are? Michael Carter, he replies, removing his cap. CEO of Carter-Tech Automotive. Silence grips the garage. Paul flushes, stammering. This a joke? The mayor, watching closely, mutters, Undercover sting? Michael nods as Emily and Sophia enter with tablets. We've got enough evidence. Lisa freezes, reconciling the clumsy assistant with the CEO. This is absurd, Paul tries, forcing a laugh. Emily turns her tablet to him. Clear audio plays. I hired a black woman to shut HR up about diversity. One safety complaint, she's gone. Explain the financial fraud? Sophia asks, showing spreadsheets, fake reports, forged signatures. The mayor steps back like Paul's toxic. This is criminal. I did what I had to for your damn profits. Paul explodes, pointing at Michael. Your impossible targets, your budget cuts. Murmurs ripple through the shop. Other mechanics exchange uneasy glances. You're right, Michael admits, stunning everyone. Lisa's head snaps up. I'm at fault, too. I delegated without oversight. I put numbers over people. Looking at Lisa, he adds, That ends today. To Paul, he says, But your sins run deeper. You chose to mistreat people, discriminate, endanger lives, line your pockets. Security escorts Paul out as he shouts lawsuit threats. Michael announces the garage will close for a full overhaul. Everyone gets paid leave. When it reopens, it'll have new equipment and leadership. He turns to Lisa. We need people who know cars and value people. Interested. Lisa stares long. Why trust you? You admitted you let this happen. Don't, he says honestly. I've earned your distrust, but you'll have full autonomy to enforce safety standards. Every request approved, with compensation for years of undue risk. The mayor chimes in. My office can appoint an independent inspector to oversee changes. A week later, progress is clear. Scaffolding surrounds the garage for new signage. Inside, crews remove old equipment, unloading state-of-the-art tools. In a temporary office, Lisa reviews blueprints with Michael. This exhaust system's weak, she points out. Needs 30% more capacity. Approved, Michael says instantly. Anything else? Other regional managers, Lisa says. If Paul was the issue, who says there aren't more? Michael grins. Thinking like a manager already. Thinking like someone who doesn't want others suffering like I did, she corrects. Michael waves Emily in with a folder. Surprise audits of all garages. 3 managers already gone. As Safety and Compliance Director network-wide, Lisa now has authority to shut down non-compliant shops. Michael's phone rings. His CFO, Frank Matthews. "Mike, this Reno spending's tanking our quarter. Board's livid." "Frank, did you sign Paul's fake approvals?" Michael cuts in. Silence. "We've got proof someone on your team greenlit illegal cuts. Board meeting tomorrow. Resign or name names." "This is just the start," Lisa says post-call. "Wherever it leads?" Michael agrees. "My dad built this company to serve people, not exploit them." What he doesn't tell Lisa, as they review rebuild plans, is the email from Carter Tech's lawyers. The board, led by ambitious EVP Richard Townsend, has called an emergency vote to oust him. Major shareholders, rattled by the reform's costs, question his competence. To Lisa, the rebuild feels like justice taking shape. For Michael, a bigger fight looms, choosing between his father's vision and the empire he built. Across town, Paul Stevens smirks at his phone, texting Richard Townsend about regaining control. How much is integrity worth when an empire's at stake? Michael's true test isn't the garage rebuild, but the boardroom, facing those who see people as numbers and safety as overhead. Carter Tech's corporate hall buzzes. On one side, jittery shareholders and execs. On the other, garage workers, including Lisa, new to HQ. Michael stands centered, calm despite the stakes. VP Richard Townsend, leading the push to keep or remove Michael as CEO for fiscally reckless decisions, says one item's on the agenda. Michael smiles faintly, scanning faces before the vote. "I've got 15 minutes to speak per bylaws. May I?" Richard nods grudgingly. Michael signals Emily, who hands sealed folders to each board member. "Don't open yet," he says, firing up a projector. "First, a story." A photo of his father beside an old car appears. "My dad started fixing cars with borrowed tools. He built this empire on 2 pillars, worker safety and customer respect." The screen shifts to financial charts. Last 5 years, profits up 42%. Impressive. But at what cost? Next slide. Broken garage tools. A cracked jack. Lisa's bloody hand. "This is the cost," Michael says evenly. "Unsafe tools, workers at risk, systemic discrimination." Murmurs ripple. Richard tries to cut in. "Pure emotional manipulation. Numbers, Michael." Michael smiles. "Numbers, Richard. Open the folders." Silence falls. Folders reveal embezzlement details, forged signatures, and transcripts, including Richard arguing with Paul to cut unnecessary safety costs and manage that black girl. Michael continues, "Carter Tech isn't just a garage chain. It's a legacy of integrity my father built, and I nearly ruined through neglect." Lisa stands, surprising all. "May I?" she says clearly. Michael nods, intrigued. She rolls up her sleeve, revealing a deep scar. This was from a collapsed lift. No compensation, no proper care. I worked through it to feed my kids. She eyes shareholders. "You profit millions off our sweat, our blood. If that doesn't matter, consider lawsuit costs when these accidents and discrimination go public." Tension crackles. Richard plays his last card. Even so, Michael's reforms are financially unviable. "Really?" Michael clicks the projector. Phase 1's done at the pilot garage. 3 weeks in, productivity's up 28%. 0 customer complaints. New slide, an upward graph. Operating profit up 15%. Safety and dignity don't cost money, they make it. The votes near unanimous. Michael stays CEO. The reform plan rolls out network-wide. Richard and 3 complicit execs are ousted from the board, facing internal probes. 3 months later, Michael unveils Carter-Tech's new Safety and Compliance HQ. Lisa, now its executive director, cuts the red ribbon amid applause. She tells reporters every garage now has cutting-edge equipment, strict protocols, ongoing training, and a direct whistleblower line with no retaliation. Paul Stevens watches the ceremony on TV from his tiny apartment, all he can afford post-downfall. His defamation suits were dismissed. 3 criminal negligence charges loom. No auto shop will hire him, even as a car washer. Post-ceremony, Lisa finds Michael eyeing his father's restored portrait in the HQ lobby. "He'd be proud," she says. "Know what amazes me most," Michael replies, "how you solved complex mechanical problems with broken tools for so long." Lisa smiles. "That's what people like me do. Improvise, adapt, survive on scraps. Imagine what we can do with the right tools." The next week, Carter-Tech launches a scholarship for young mechanics from marginalized communities. The training center in renovated Garage 3 is named for Lisa's father, a small-time mechanic crushed by predatory corporations years ago. A news crew films the first graduating class receiving pro-grade tools. Among them are Lisa's teenage sons. "Mom taught me," the elder says on camera, "no matter how they try to break you, what you build from the pieces matters most." Michael watches the broadcast in his office, smiling. His phone rings. A new quarterly profit record. Integrity proved the best business model. Sometimes going undercover reveals the truth, and often those society tries to break hold the power to fix entire systems. If this story of transformation and justice touched you, subscribe now for more stories proving true success isn't just profit. It's the dignity we grant everyone we meet.